hello, we're in a new environment today. I want to talk about something that's happening right now with entrepreneurs and how to avoid it to not only save like 6 months of your life, but at the same time save thousands of your own dollars. It's going to be a story time about a past client that I worked with personally and the mistake that they made because they didn't see what was happening, and hopefully you can avoid it yourself, right? So right now with the new surging of AI, all the new booming of Base 44, Claude Code, Riplet, what's the other one? I can't think of it right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, the ability to develop software and projects and everything else has become very mainstream and very available to anyone and everyone. And because of that, more and more people think that they need to use this technology, use AI to do this, and that. And I'm telling you right now, that is the last thing you want to be doing if you are just starting as an entrepreneur, or if you don't already have a solid foundation, right? So straight into the story. I had a client that, let's say they worked in construction, right? They sold construction supplies just to keep security reasons. They sold construction supplies. And they came to me and said, you know what? We want to build an automation to update our clients and any leads that we have on what's happening right now in the lumber department, what's happening in, let's say, hardware tools, what's happening with Home Depot. Home Depot stock going up and down, right? They pretty much wanted to be a hub for anything DIY, home construction, building, anything, right? They wanted an automation to pretty much update themselves and their clients. So I said, okay, that's interesting. So what is your main offer? What are you really focusing on? Like, okay, well, we sell lumber, we sell tools, we sell equipment, safety, hazmats, whatever, like the helmets, basic construction stuff. So like, okay. Now, would your clients really care about it? They're like, yeah, we think it'd be really cool. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Let's update them on everything that's happening in lumber and everything else, if they really care about it. I don't know, right? So we made the automation. It took me about a month to make it. We did a bunch of testing and demoing, whatever. So by the second month, it was ready for production, right? So we sent it out. We had a whole bunch of people come in, join it. And people liked it. It was cool. It was very nice looking. It was great information. But they noticed that the money that they were putting in from API wise, building fees, everything else, it wasn't really adding up to actual ROI. And they were like, this isn't really helping us make more money. I'm like, well, there's a reason for that, right? You put a whole bunch of money and effort into making something to help with marketing before you actually focus on marketing, if that made sense, right? So, and now if they focused on, hopefully you can hear me with the wind, but if they would have focused on building actual, social media, investing in more content organically, paid ads, whatever, to actually attract leads in, funnel them through the automation and then have them, funnel them through the automation and then build them into actual interested leads, or, bring them all the way down to the bottom of the funnel to their offer, selling them hardware, equipment, lumber, whatever, they would have gotten a better ROI. But instead they thought this automation, just to pull in information, and your water so bad, pulling information from everywhere, would bring them more clients and bring them more money, but that wasn't really the case. And you can kind of see where I'm going here. Now, if instead they would have had an automation say, okay, let's automate our inventory more, right? Let's build an automation so the moment we get low on this, it automatically calculates and orders more lumber, orders more plastic, orders more hardware hats, glow in the dark sticks, whatever they need to actually build houses and DIY projects. That wasn't the case. I told them that was the best path that they can take, but instead they wanted to do something more flashy and more seen. They wouldn't be seen. They wanted people to know that they had automations, and that was one of the worst things that they could do, but they didn't listen. So long story short, about 6 months go by and they're like, you know what? Let's shut this down. It's not giving us the return we wanted. Not sure what's going on here. It's just, it's just draining money from us. I'm like, yeah, completely understand. And now because of that happened, for an entire half a year, they now assume that AI and automation is nonsense. It doesn't really work. It doesn't do anything for them. And unfortunately, that is the case for most people. But it's not because the technology itself doesn't work. The tech is amazing. It's the application of the actual technology that doesn't work. And because of that, they're never going to try it again, most likely, right? It's way too much money. They're going to just stick to doing everything manually, and bada boom, bada bang, that's it. So the mistake that they made is that they tried to use AI automation for the wrong thing in their business that didn't give them an ROI, and it wasted time and money, plain and simple. Now, for you as an entrepreneur, if you're thinking about doing the same thing, it doesn't matter if you already have a business, if you're thinking about making a business, even making one around AI and automation, what you have to realize is don't put any effort and time into something that doesn't clearly give you an ROI within immediately of using it, right? If you don't expect to give you profit in terms of money, time, or even enjoyment, right? Making it more fun to do your job even, because people only think about money and time. But if you have a business that's really dragging and is really dull, if you can make something that make it more fun, that's amazing, right? That's also a benefit. It helps you do more to make more money and save more time, whatever it is, right? You get the idea. So as an entrepreneur, let's say you're building a fitness app, right? You're a fitness trainer, you want to build software, you want an automation to help you. Don't go making your own app to teach people how to work out, right? If you don't have the marketing to get clients, if you don't really have a client base, if you don't have the money to put into that to really make it work, right? To back it behind ads and everything else, you're wasting your time building that app. Why would you build a fitness app before you even have fitness clients? Do you have testimonials? Can you prove that it works, right? You can apply the same logic to any other business, service, whatever, product, doesn't matter. Only put more money into something that's going to give you a return. For example, if you're a Uber driver, it doesn't matter, you deliver food and cakes to people. Why would you go and put money into buying a Sprinter van when you already have a car? That's nonsense. You don't need a Sprinter van, right? You're delivering one cake per order, maybe 2, 3 cakes. You can put that in the back of your car. You can put decals on the side of it. Boom, you're done. You don't need to buy an entire Sprinter van when the demand isn't there, right? It doesn't really help you yet, because the amount of food that you're making to deliver can easily fit in the car you already have. So you're just putting more money in to look flashy, to be seen, and to be, you want to feel good, but that doesn't really help you. So that's pretty much the whole point of this video. I see it all the time. I try my best when I hop on calls with people. I tell them, please don't do this instead, right? They come to me and they want to just, give me money to build them things or to work with them automation, doing this, doing that. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that, because can I take the money and this profit? Yes. But for me, it's like, well, I love a good testimonial. And if 4 or 5 months in the road, you're still not doing anything progressive with that automation I made for you, look bad on me, right? And I have a good soul. I can't build you something that I know is not gonna work. If you're an entrepreneur and you're not making that 10K mark per month, then I wouldn't even focus on actually putting too much effort into building automations up yet, right? If you're just scratching 10K, you're almost there, and you're thinking actually help you get over that lump, then possibly, right? That might be a case for you. If you wanna figure that out, click the link down below, book a free call, we can talk about it. But if you're not really at that point yet of touching 10K or definitely hitting it consistently or going beyond that, don't even worry about it, because you're gonna end up just like them. Right? Only focus on ROI. And I might even make a video on the actual automation to give you an ROI. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more content on not only automations and AI, but social media as well, and just online marketing in general to make everything click for what you're doing. Because again, if you're focused on construction and building supplies, you don't really have time to worry about automations and social media. You have to focus on building and doing the actual offer, not the nonsense of everything else. So if you want help with that, click the link down below. See you there.